This is the story of the god who never got a say in his own reputation. Hades was born to the titans Cronus and Rhea, into a family already built on fear. His own father was terrified of being overthrown. So Cronus swallowed every child Rhea bore him the moment they were born. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Poseidon, and then Hades, each one eaten whole to stop a prophecy he was desperate to outrun. Hades only escaped because Zeus was hidden away as a baby, then grew up and tricked Cronus into vomiting up his siblings. What followed was the Titanomachy, 10 brutal years of war between the young gods and the old titans for control of the entire universe, a war Hades fought in personally, not from the sidelines. The grateful Cyclops armed the three brothers. Zeus got the thunderbolt, Poseidon the trident, and Hades the helm of darkness, a cap of total invisibility. That helm wasn't decoration. Ancient sources credit Hades with sneaking behind enemy lines invisibly and sabotaging Titan weapons, directly helping win the war. And then came the moment that defined the rest of his existence. The brothers didn't divide the universe by rank or merit. They drew lots out of a helmet, and Hades got whatever was left. Zeus got the sky. Poseidon got the sea. Hades got the underworld. No sunlight, no fresh air, a realm built entirely for the dead. He didn't lose that draw because he was weaker. He lost because it was random, and random doesn't care how hard you fought. Hades did not choose this job. He got assigned it, and spent the next 3,000 years being blamed for accepting it. What was Hades' inheritance? 5 rivers. The Styx, the Acheron, the Lethe, the Phlegathon, and the Cocytus, each with its own grim purpose. The Styx was where gods swore unbreakable oaths. The Lethe erased memory completely, and getting in required paying Charon the ferryman a coin, which is why Greeks buried their dead with one under the tongue. No coin, no ride. You were stuck wandering the riverbank for 100 years before Charon would even consider you. And guarding it all was Cerberus, a 3-headed dog on permanent, eternal night shift. Once inside, 3 former mortal kings judged every soul: Minos, Rhadamanthus, and Aeacus. Most people didn't end up in torment or paradise. They landed in the Asphodel Meadows, the forgettable middle ground for ordinary lives. The genuinely heroic got Elysium, a lush paradise realm underground. And the truly wicked went to Tartarus, a pit so deep that, according to Hesiod, a bronze anvil would fall for 9 full days just to reach it. Hades almost never left his rank. In the entire body of Greek mythology, Hades is documented leaving the underworld maybe twice. Once after Hercules wounded him with an arrow and he needed a doctor on Olympus. Everyone else in the pantheon gets adventures, quests, love affairs. Hades gets one documented injury. Hades isn't even counted among the 12 Olympians, because that club was defined by living on Mount Olympus, and he lived in the basement. Now the myth everyone actually knows him for. Persephone, daughter of Demeter, completely unaware her life was about to be decided by 2 men. According to the Homeric hymn to Demeter, Hades abducted Persephone while she picked flowers and took her to the underworld to be his wife. But here's what modern retellings conveniently drop. Zeus, her own father, had already agreed to give her to Hades before it ever happened. This wasn't Hades going rogue. It was an arranged marriage between brothers. Demeter was so enraged that she let the entire harvest die. Crops failed, famine spread, and humanity itself began to starve. That was a problem for everyone. A starving humanity meant no sacrifices for any god, which meant Zeus himself had to personally step in. Zeus sent Hermes down to negotiate her return, but not before offering Persephone a pomegranate, which she ate, binding her to the underworld. That single detail became the ancient explanation for the seasons. Winter when Persephone is below, spring the moment she returns to the surface. And once she's queen, Persephone isn't a passive victim. She's shown as genuinely powerful, invoked in her own cults, with real authority over souls. And unlike nearly every other Olympian husband, Hades never once had an affair, while Zeus fathered dozens of children outside his marriage. Here's maybe the cruelest part of being Hades: almost nobody prayed to him. Greeks built temples to nearly every god. Historians count only a handful dedicated to Hades. The reason? Because Greeks were genuinely afraid to say his name, using euphemisms like Pluton, the wealthy one, instead. Don't invoke the god of death directly, or you might catch his attention. People weren't trying to earn his blessing, they were trying to stay off his radar. And that nickname reveals something people forget. As ruler of everything underground, Hades was also the source of the earth's hidden wealth. Metals, gemstones, even the mineral richness that made crops grow. He was richer than his brothers combined, and still couldn't get a temple in most cities. Sisyphus tricked death itself and had to be dragged back down by force. Theseus and Pirithous broke in to kidnap Persephone. Hades tricked them onto the chair of forgetfulness instead. Sit down, Hades essentially told them, and think about what you did. Restraint, not cruelty, from the god everyone calls evil. When Orpheus came down begging for his dead wife back, playing music so beautiful it made the Furies weep, Hades actually said yes. Of every god in the pantheon, Hades is one of the very few ever shown granting a mortal genuine, unearned mercy. So here's Hades, co-architect of the Olympians' victory, assigned the worst realm by pure chance, and, unlike his brothers, completely faithful. Ancient art shows him as calm, bearded, dignified, closer to a stern judge than a monster. Then, in 1997, an animated adaptation recast him as a scheming, fire-headed villain plotting to overthrow Olympus. And it's so culturally dominant it's basically overwritten the source material. Video games, memes, and horror media now treat Hades as shorthand for evil. He didn't cheat. He didn't lie to start wars. He just ran the one department nobody wanted and got permanently typecast as the villain. He ran a bureaucracy nobody wanted to fund, married into controversy he didn't fully create, and kept his hands cleaner than any of his siblings. So no, Hades didn't have it easy. He lost the family lottery twice. Once when his father ate him, and once when he drew the short straw for the entire universe. And got 3,000 years of being cast as the bad guy, in a story where he's arguably the most disciplined character in the room. Subscribe if you want to hear who got wrong next. Trust me, there's no shortage.